This is your general outlook. Hmm. God. Hmm. When she keeps quiet, you two, you should shut up small at least. And now, no, hold on a little bit. Give the patient time or the relative time, whoever time to. I mean, yeah, sometimes your presence alone is encouraging. Yeah. Then you clarify things. It's just more like the reflecting type of thing. You restate, you paraphrase what sometimes you even reframe. Mm, reframe. Like for example, when the patient said, I feel like giving up. You can reframe it in a very way, subtly to take him away from the real thing. You know he's actually driving at a point in some instance. But if the patient is not having depression or and it's any other thing, you can actually reframe it. Say, you are trying to give up your work. For what? Why? Why are you trying to give up? Then the patient will now try and say, no, I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about giving up my kids or maybe my boyfriend because he is too big for me. When you say he is too big, what do you mean? When you say he is too big, I'm talking to you in the panel. When you say your boyfriend is too big, what do you actually big in what sense? Okay, so you can be doing that. Then in a nutshell, you summarize. Now, these things are not things that you come to somebody teaching or lecturing and you think you will just pick the skill. These things are things you've been doing on the ward. How you've been reassuring your patients, how have you been talking to them. It's just a little bit of some nitty-gritties that I've added to it. So these are therapeutic communications. So far as patients have not been complaining about the way you do your thing, there is a probability that you may be actually demonstrating what you've been taught in class, um, which actually, sorry about that. I'm having interruptions. Please, those WhatsApping me, I'm begging you, let me concentrate. Which is actually what you were taught. So you are practicing what you've been taught. Okay. Huh. So what I'm saying is that it will come. It's a natural thing. It comes with a flow. It comes with experience. It comes with the way things are. You may pick some salient points from here, but just add it to what you've been doing already to make it nice. Now, avoid saying things um, like you should, like you are not giving it as an option. You are rather enforcing it in a don't know. You don't give it like that. Maybe those of you who have lived in English speaking countries, even when they want you to pick something for them, they put it in a question form. They make it feel like you have options not to. Can you please take that for me? Maud, I think he'll buttress me on this. Can you would you be able to do this for me? Then the response will be sure, you can have it. You know that kind of thing. Huh. It's like it's like just something that you can refuse. But most times, especially in the Western countries, you end up doing whatever the person asks. Don't give false assurance. Don't go and tell them that everything will be fine. It's a popular thing. It's a Ghanaian thing. It's a cultural thing. I nearly carried it here. So in my practice, you see me reassuring. But when I go to understand the American culture, sometimes you don't just give them false hope. You let them know the truth. They are a little bit not really guided in what the patient will necessarily feel if it is the truth. You know, there are tools that we can use to break bad news. Example is the spikes protocol. You're setting, I mean, it's just a guide that you follow just to break bad news. Like a patient is having cancer, you just want to tell the patient or you want to break the bad news to the patient. But even with that, um, in the Western setting, sometimes because of the nature of, I mean, don't want to say culture, but they will just tell you the results came. The results came, and then you had stage 4 cancer. They will just rattle it for you. This is what you have, and there is nothing like wandering around. Sometimes, if you get a very empathic provider telling you, you can maybe see some sort of, I don't want to use the word remorse or whatever. I mean, you are not the one causing it anyway. but they have some particular appearance or presence with you, and that makes you feel like